Black Adam. What have your powers ever given to you? Nothing but heartache.
Welcome to another Snapback Family movie review.
And today we are reviewing
Black
Adam.
That was my rock. Black dude. Does that strike fear into your soul?
No.
Okay. Yes. So Black Adam, the movie that we have been waiting for 12 billion, gabillion, trazillion years. The movie that The Rock said would redefine the DC extended universe. And it took a long, I forgot they were making this doggone movie. It took so long. I think The Rock said...
I wasn't even born when they started it.
I had no clue.
They started it for 5 years and then...
I think 8 years ago they announced this movie or something. So it's been a long time in the making. And so we got the chance to see it this weekend in the theater. I felt like we had to see it because, you know, it's The Rock as a superhero. Which, you know, it's like, you see The Rock and you're like, this dude's gotta play a superhero at some point. And so I feel like that was the big draw for me, is like The Rock as a superhero. And I felt like it did that. That's basically the movie.
Yes.
It's The Rock. You know, The Rock's already, you know, pulling bridges to, sorry, my bad. Pulling bridges together and saving people from burning buildings and doing ridiculous feats of strength in all kind of movies. And that's pretty much this movie from beginning to end. It is action-packed to the brim.
It is.
There is so much action in this movie. Maybe a little too much action.
Yeah, there was a bit too much action.
But, so for those of you who don't know who Black Adam is, because, you know, he is not the most popular comic book character. It's from a comic book that used to actually be Marvel, but I guess that, I didn't know this, but I guess that they sell and trade, like trading cards.
They sold it 20 years ago.
So DC got Black Adam. He used to be the predecessor to Captain Marvel. Could you believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? And so anyways, it got sold to DC, and DC, they were in desperate need of superheroes, I guess. So they made him a guy, and they've been really pumping him since about the year 2000. So his actual name is Black Teth. And it's
Teth Adam.
That's what I said. Black Teth Adam.
Teth Adam.
Teth Adam. And it's a bit complicated because he's like Shazam. So he is Shazam, but he's not Shazam.
He gets his powers from the same witches that Shazam.
Wizards, first of all.
Wizards.
I thought it was God.
Wizards that.
The wizard, same count. It's a different wizard, but it's the Council of Wizards.
Yes.
But a different wizard to give. Anyways, Council of Wizards gives him his powers just like Shazam, but he also wears the exact same suit, just a different color. He also says Shazam to turn into his super self, but except for the difference is Teth Adam can't go back and forth. When he says it,
He can.
He can.
It's very confusing.
It's like he's just Shazam all over again. So whoever the heck Black Adam is, he's the Black Shazam. That's what they should call him, Black Shazam. This is like Black Shazam the movie, all right? Anyways, so we're gonna get into the plot, but to be honest, plot is not the strength of this movie.
Yeah.
It's not really. But the plot is The Rock is a superhero and he destroys stuff. But Teth Adam, he is a so the story starts way back in ancient Kahndaq. The whole movie takes place in this mythical land called Kahndaq, and there is an evil king who is using all the people as slave labor, and The Rock's son basically decides to stand up against this evil king and try to liberate the people, and he's going to be killed as a martyr. And
My son sacrificed his life to save me. These powers are not a gift, but a curse. Born out of rage.
The Rock's son becomes a martyr, but right before he can be executed, he turns into dust, and the wizards save him, and they give him superpowers as Shazam. And so, and then we get to current time, and The Rock is Shazam. He is revived by a bunch of people looking for the crown.
Archaeologists. They were looking for the
crown of Teth. Sabak. The crown of Sabak, who's the bad guy. And they release Black Adam. He comes back in like the beginning of the movie, and there's like a 20-minute action scene. He's just destroying stuff, fighting F-35, blowing up everybody. That was my favorite part of the movie, actually. It's kind of all downhill. But that was a really awesome action scene to start the movie.
Fire! all locked it up.
And so, as the movie goes, basically what happens is,
well, can I interject?
Yeah,
so the major conflict that these people are facing, not only Black Adam when he comes back to help, is that Intergang is oppressing the current present time Kahndaq.
Kahndaq needs a hero.
Yes, Kahndaq needs a hero. Intergang is this this government kind of
They're the bad guys.
society that is trying to rule and oppress the people. And
they're hyper generic, by the way. The Intergang has no personality.
Yeah,
they're
none.
just bad guys.
It's just a name, like Intergang.
Yeah, they're bad guys.
Guys with guns. And we have this family and friends kind of working together. So we have, they are Adriana, Kareem, and then Aman. Kareem and Adriana are brother and sister. Aman is Adriana's son. And they also have their colleague Ishmael, and they're working together to try to, work against Intergang and not allow them to find the crown. So we have this family, and they are working against Intergang. They don't want Intergang to get the crown, because then they will rule everything and they will ruin Kahndaq. So
sure. And then the Rock once the Rock's there, they want the Rock to help protect the crown, and the Rock does this by killing everything and everybody in its path. And so the Justice Society, not to be confused with the Justice League,
right.
The Justice Society,
not confusing at all.
Right. They come to kind of subdue Black Adam, and there's this huge moral fight over whether superheroes kill people.
This loose cannon needs to be locked down before innocent people start getting hurt.
He's been asleep for 5,000 years.
You find us a cell that can hold him, we'll take care of the rest.
Who's on the team? I didn't bring a passport.
We don't need passports. We're the Justice Society.
So hold on. The Justice Society consists
of America, the Justice Society of America.
Sure, and they consist of Hawkman,
yes.
Dr. Fate.
Yes.
What's Cyclone Girl's name?
Cyclone.
Oh, Cyclone, and then Atom Smasher, right? And so here's the thing. First of all, coming from a bit of a Marvel background, you got Hawkman. He's a black guy with wings.
Hawkeye.
You are fired from anybody's name ever. His name is Falcon.
Oh, Falcon.
What is wrong with you? Hawkeye shoots air.
Show.
She is don't.
Because
when we're doing these,
Hawk and Hawk.
you were banned from names forever.
Hawkeye is a TV show.
Falcon. Okay, so Hawkeye is Falcon. Dr. Fate is Doctor Strange.
Yeah, basically.
You got Cyclone, who is a black woman that can control the weather. So she's Storm, although she can only control the wind. And then you got Atom Smasher, who is literally Ant-Man. I mean, right? Is it not no, he's Ant-Man to a T. It's and so it's kind of hard. For me, it's kind of hard off the bat because there's so many superheroes, and these powers have already been claimed in the Marvel universe, and they are anyways. So you got Falcon, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, and Storm fighting Black Adam, who is Black Superman. Okay, basically, right? And they're constantly going. What are they always fighting about, Lincoln?
They're always fighting about that superheroes don't kill people. But if you watch all the DC movies,
how many people Batman can kill? Have you seen Batman kill somebody?
Bro, Superman even kills people.
Wonder Woman, fire with the bracelets. These two.
They all kill
So
people.
first of all, the whole debate is just what are you what is even happening here?
But what I thought was really cool and wasn't expecting either, which was, I don't know if it's considered an Easter egg. The person running.
Yeah. Suicide Squad nods.
Yeah,
Amanda Waller was in there, and she's killed lots of people. She runs the Suicide Squad.
By the epic Viola Davis.
Yeah. So Pierce Brosnan played Dr. Fate. Hawkman's Aldis Hodge. Atom Smasher's Noah Centineo, and Cyclone's Quintessa Swindell.
Black Adam.
We're here to negotiate your peaceful surrender.
Heard about at least 3 killings this afternoon.
I'm not peaceful. Nor do I surrender. Here we go. I kneel before no one.
And this is where I think some of my bigger problems with the movie came in, because they're not fleshed out. I mean, they're just there. Like Cyclone she does nothing. She just spins and like throws a couple bars. You learn nothing about her. She tells a little bit about her backstory at the beginning, but then like she might as well not be there. Atom Smasher, those two particularly, like Dr. Fate and Hawkman, they play into the story a decent bit, but Atom Smasher and Cyclone, they're not even part of the story. Atom Smasher has a couple funny lines, you know, and he has the old throwback to his dad, who like, which we know from the old 50s movie, Uncle. Thank you, Lincoln. So there's that, but like, I felt they did a terrible job at fleshing out these characters and making them actual people that we care about and learn about, especially Cyclone. Like, she was like the token black girl. And she looked really cool though. When she did her spinning and stuff, she looked epic.
Like, otherwise, she was just like...
Yeah, so I was
her
kind of...
hair was on point.
Yes, I was kind of sad that we didn't really get... I mean, and all the back and forth fighting over whether or not you're supposed to kill people. It's like, it was confusing because the good guys were fighting each other, but they were on the same team fighting the bad guy at the same time. And then, speaking of bad guys, then the bad guy, like, comes out of nowhere in the last scene. I mean, it kind of was coming from the beginning, but it kind of came out of nowhere to fight Black Adam, and... Yeah, I don't... Yeah,
It was like in the literal first scene.
I know who his character is.
Oh.
He was Evil Jafar.
Yeah, Evil Jafar, sure. It felt like, and they had a jet like the Blackbird, you know, or the Quinjet. Like, it felt like they watched every superhero movie and took pieces.
Just mushed it all together.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a lot of that. So, I mean, plot was all over the place. Characters were not well designed. However,
And you could
the
tell
action...
it was a villain, like, from...
Yeah,
the
I
very
knew it was
first
super.
scene.
It was super predictable,
no
but I
spoilers.
could. From the beginning, you could already tell. Okay, this guy's gonna be a bad guy. This guy's gonna be a good guy. This kid in the current day has a connection to the kid in the past day. You know what I mean? It was very predictable. It was very cliche. That's what it was. But they did a decent job. Yeah, like it was cliche, but you know, whatever. So action is great. I would recommend, if you want an action movie, you want something fun, it was fun. I enjoyed it. What I thought was interesting is the movie was actually funny. Most DC movies are very dark.
And you know why it was funny? It's because it was The Rock. Like,
But
he has a subtle,
I disagree completely.
He has a subtle comedic little,
To me, that's what I loved about it, is we always know The Rock for his corny humor. He's not subtle.
but he's a
He
smart
has
ass.
a very...
He was like a smart ass. He was like,
I
said
don't...
the A word. Sorry, Lincoln. He was a smart butt, you know? I feel like that...
I mean, he was a little sarcastic at times, but I thought what I enjoyed about the movie is, predictably, you would expect The Rock to have all these corny jokes and one-liners like he did, like he does in different movies, but he didn't do that in this movie. He was very stoic.
Yeah.
He was very serious. He didn't talk much at all. He was very strong. He was quiet. He played the role good. I actually thought he would be hard to believe as a superhero, but he didn't talk much. He didn't overdo it. He underdid it, and I thought that was a great decision by him in the performance. He was very much reminded me of like John Wayne. It's very...
Yeah.
And there was even in the movie, like a reference to that. So I think maybe that was part of how they based the character.
He was it was a different...
He was very John Wayne.
Different Rock, for sure.
Yeah.
It was not the Kevin Hart Rock combination at all. But I liked his sarcasm. I liked how they were able to have him be sarcastic, which was... I like sarcasm as humor, so I guess that's why.
It was very subtle sarcasm. It wasn't like Drax the Destroyer sarcasm, which is great, but it was kind of like a baby Drax. It was like he didn't understand he was being sarcastic. He wasn't funny. He wasn't trying to be sarcastic and laughing about it.
Right.
It was just like he was so serious that it would be funny sometimes.
Right.
Yes, Lincoln, buddy.
It was just so, like, unoriginal from the start. I'm not going to spoil it, but the ending was just so
the ending
unoriginal.
Yeah, it was. But it was a summer blockbuster. Something great to see in the theaters, see on IMAX, watch at home with the surround sound so loud that your wife screams at you for having these speakers.
I can hear it already.
Yes, and I think that so for that it served its purpose. Like I said at the beginning, it was a superhero movie featuring The Rock, and it did deliver on that.
You didn't come here to seek justice. You came to exact revenge.
Too much enemy fire to catch a breath.
I never said I was a hero.
Giving you respect, I expect.
So what were some of the key themes from Black Gowns? Were there some stuff that you took away from the movie? I mean, that's what we were talking about.
There's a moral.
Yes, and they spent the whole movie arguing about it. We talked about this.
Heroes.
Here,
Don't-
you watching this movie, you have the choice. You can use your strengths for good, or you can use them for evil. What are you going to do with the gifts that God gave you?
Right.
I think that was kind of the big overarching theme, is that we're all blessed with gifts, and you know, you have the option. I thought something that's unique in this movie is we've had anti-heroes, we've had heroes, we've had people in the middle like Venom, and The Rock did that, but he did it in such, his character was a lot more about exploring the choice that he was going to make. He had to make a conscious decision, and you know what? He always decided on the path of vengeance for the most part. But as we learn in the movie, that Kahndaq doesn't necessarily need a hero; they needed a protector, and so there's a role for those type of people too. But the big takeaway I got from the movie was that you have to choose. You know, superheroes, I think in almost every superhero movie, they're just automatically defined as good or bad, and they get labeled. In this movie, he wasn't labeled good or bad. You kind of got to watch him go through the process of figuring out where he fits into that. And so I thought that was unique and a little bit different.
And also, you know, what some people consider to be good or bad, or what they need, is different for others. You know,
Sure.
I feel like Adriana and Amon, right? They recognize that Teth Adam or Black Adam had things that were going to bring positivity, and ultimately he had things that their country needed. And whereas the Justice Society, Justice whatever, they didn't feel the same way. So
It was a little bit of, and sorry, that just made me think, it was a little bit of Captain America Civil War in there. It was like Justice Society, like you know, Captain America's like, Iron Man, you can't be a hero like this, and that was Falcon or Captain Hawkman, and you know, so there was a bit of, you know, once we said all this super movie mashup. Hey, who was your favorite character in the movie? Mine's, you already know. Guess. Dr. Fate was the dopest part of the movie, but Dr. Fate was sick.
Yeah.
He was so dope, and I'm not gonna say what happened with him, but I wish there was more with him. And he could have a whole movie of his own. Like, he was Pierce Brosnan. He did a great job. I need a Dr. Fate movie. DC, let's get a Dr. Fate movie going ASAP. Dr. Fate was the best. I loved him. He was epic. He was the best part of the movie for me. What about you? You got a favorite one? His favorite superhero? No? Just Black Adam? No.
I think
Black
that
Adam was not my favorite.
I think Black Adam was my favorite character in the movie. I mean, I liked Dr. Fate, and I even liked Hawkman. Right?
Hawkman was cool, yeah,
Hawkman
sure.
was pretty legit as well. But
I got tired of him talking about, yeah, anyways.
Yeah, I
He's a little
would have to
virtuous.
say-
He's a little virtuous.
He was. I would have to say Black Adam was my favorite.
I expect the same thing.
You believe you are not worthy, but fate does not make mistakes.
I'll fight for you. There's a war going on outside, we ain't safe from.
It was PG-13. We didn't take Maverick because he said he was too scared based on the preview. It wasn't that bad, but there was some gore. I felt like some hardcore gore at the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
Like the middle, I mean, like somebody got ripped in half. And
Yeah,
maybe
and it
somebody's-
wasn't like gore to the point where there's like blood splashing
But it was
everywhere,
just-
but it was still like
it was
limbs
graphic.
being
It was
pulled
like
off.
it was
Yeah.
it was like video game
Yeah.
graphic, but like.
It wasn't like Venom.
No.
Nothing like
It wasn't like Venom. It was. You have to judge the kid. Lincoln's 10. I think that he could handle it. I felt like it was pretty. It was not as dark as most DC movies, and it would probably be okay. I would say this is take for what you will, because every parent is different, every kid is different. But I'd say depending on the kid's maturity and how much they can handle, if they're scaredy cats or not, maybe 10 and older will probably be okay. Under 10, at your own discretion would be what I would say. So, how many snaps would you give it, Lincoln?
Based on it, I would just go
2 snaps.
Wow.
That's so you wouldn't watch it again, not even for fun.
Monster.
So two
Snaps.
is like, so 2 is bad, 3 is okay, 4 is good, 5 is excellent, 1 is terrible. So you would call it bad?
Yes,
All right, Lincoln's with bad.
It was just so unoriginal.
A lot
the
of
entire
people,
film.
I bet you a lot of people would agree with you.
Yes.
I'd give it a solid 3 snaps. It was, it was fine. It was
I would
entertaining.
probably give it a 3 snaps as well. I think it was just okay.
Yeah.
I would watch it again, but yeah, it was just okay. It's not one of my favorites.
Yeah. So.
But I will say, because I try to look at the bright side. Out of the DC movies, though, I feel like it was probably up there with.
Yeah, it was one of the better DC
Yeah,
movies.
so
This was probably the least DC movie. It was
Yeah.
fun. It wasn't so dark. It was kind of funny. It was action packed. And so yeah, it was, if anything was close, not the Wonder Woman is the best DC movie for sure. It wasn't as good as Wonder Woman, but it was solid. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
So it was better than Batman vs Superman, that's for sure. So all right, well, thank you for joining us on this Snapback Family movie review. We hope you join us on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because there are not many families out there reviewing movies where you get the chance to see what the different kids think of different ages. So help us out with that YouTube algorithm. Drop us a like so that we can help more families out there find movies that they can enjoy with their family and watch, or avoid movies that may not be such a perfect fit. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, as always, we love you, God loves you, so go out and spread some love.
Bye.
You have two paths. You can be the destroyer of this world, or you can be its savior.